Come on in the room. Come on in the room. And folks, today is the day NBA season opens up for the Milwaukee Bucks in Philadelphia at the Philadelphia 76ers. Bucks looking to get a big win. It's the Cream City crossover. The Guru, Trey Crosby III.
Justin.
Chris King.
Yes, sir, in the building. And man, you've waited so long. It's finally here. But if you're a Philadelphia 76ers fan, and you wanted to see Joel Embiid, and you wanted to see Paul George, you had to wait a little bit longer. The Sixers are going to be without both of those fellas in the opener against the Bucks today. No definitive timeline for either All-Star to make their season debut. Embiid did not participate in the preseason. He continues treatment plan on his left knee. And he will not play in any of the Sixers' first two games this week. They also have Toronto on Friday night, but he is apparently progressing well. He's going to ramp up, and Philly will reevaluate him over the weekend to make a determination on his return to play. He also said that he wasn't going to play back-to-backs. So that's the thing if you're a Philadelphia 76ers fan as well. And as for Paul George, he has been on the court since hyperextending his left knee during their preseason matchup with the Atlanta Hawks on October the 14th. He avoided serious injury, and while he has not yet been cleared for action, does not expect to miss much time. Of course, if you're a Bucks fan on the other side, the Bucks dealing with their fair share of issues as well. Chris Middleton remains out. Shams said that he's out indefinitely, indefinite time period, said he's at least out for the Chicago game. So out for today's game against the 76ers, out at least against Chicago Friday night. What do we make of all of this injury news? You want to look into it and see what it is. Is Embiid ducking smoke? Is this actual part of the rehab plan? I don't know. I'll just say this. It seems odd, right, that the opening night for the Philadelphia 76ers, with whatever's going on with his treatment plan and his rehab, I get it with Paul George. He just got injured. But if you're Joel Embiid, how are you not ready for game one? I kind of go the same thing with Chris Middleton. I mean, he had two offseason surgeries on the ankle. Game one, you're not ready to go. Again, I understand a little bit with Chris' offseason ankle surgeries, but Embiid, I mean, is this a sign of things to come for both the Milwaukee Bucks and the Philadelphia 76ers? Who are you worried more for from an injury perspective? Milwaukee with Chris Middleton, or you looking at Philadelphia, Paul George and Joel Embiid? I'll say this too. It just sucks that you're anticipating this matchup. You want to come in. You want to see what you got against a team who the Philadelphia 76ers go out and acquire Paul George, and you want to see how you match up. You want to see how you measure up. We just watched the New York Knicks, and they know they got work to do against the Boston after they didn't match up well against the Boston Celtics, last night. But but I'm looking at this, and I just want to know, how do you feel? Injuries are going to be a big part of the season, and they already starting on opening night.
I feel like it's just kind of par for the course, right, with these teams. I don't think either one of these teams are a regular season banner chaser anymore. I don't need any more Milwaukee Central Division Championship gear ever again in life. My main thing is that we need playoff Chris ready, just like he was in that Indiana series where he dropped the 40-piece on those boys to be able to play through the playoffs. And with Embiid and Paul George, like with them, it's not about if they'll get injured. Unfortunately, I hate to say it like that, but it's when. And Chris Middleton is starting to tread into that Kawhi Leonard territory where it's not if, but when with him as well. So let's get this crap out the way. Let's have Middleton healthy. I mean, I'm just really looking for this dude to gear up and really come out and start smoking with all guns ablaze once 2025 hits. I'm not concerned with November and December, but, I guess that may not be the right approach, but I'm all about a championship. If it's not a championship, if it's not a parade in my city, to quote the prophet John Morant, then we're not talking about it this year.
Yeah, Justin, I think you make a good point about maybe this is just who the Philadelphia 76ers or who they are. And to me, I can't take the 76ers serious anymore with their past. With Joel Embiid not being able to make an Eastern Conference Finals, with him not being able to get out of the first, second rounds, and for him to always have these injuries, I can't take them serious anymore. I can't, for you national media heads who have got them over the Bucks time and time again in the offseason and even during the season just because Embiid drops 50 on a random night, but he doesn't play the rest of the month. I have a problem with that. I'm not really with the wave of having Philadelphia so high in expectations because I don't even think they believe in themselves. And when you add Paul George, yeah, that's going to do some stuff for you, in terms of PR-wise, and that's going to have people excited. But Paul George is a guy who stays hurt. Paul George is a guy who gets hurt in a preseason game, and now you're questioning his status. And to my knowledge, I don't think they got better depth-wise. I still think they're very star-heavy. And if they're not going to be on the court, then we can chill on the 76ers. So for me, yeah, the Chris Middleton injury news sucks, and for him to have to ramp up throughout the first couple games of the season is going to suck. But this says more to me about the 76ers.
It absolutely talks about the 76ers and the injury history they continue to have throughout the playoffs. Again, Joel Embiid has not made it past the second round yet in his career, and he's had a host of stars that have been with him. But you also look and you saw, speaking of the media, Chris, you saw in ESPN this morning or yesterday morning, you saw the media talking about whether Giannis is going to request a trade if the season doesn't go correctly, and get a lot of that based on the health of their stars. And I look at Embiid, I look at Philadelphia, and it's like, why are you not saying that about them when they have even worse injury history to go along with it? But I'll pivot here and ask you guys, okay, now we know there's no Joel Embiid, no Paul George, no Chris Middleton. What are you looking for from a Milwaukee Bucks team? Damian Lillard and Giannis will be there. You're going to have Tyrese Maxey on the other side. I'll say this initially, and then I want to hear from you guys. I guess for me, I don't want to let down. You are now, like, again, this is kind of built up as a clash of the Titans, but without their heavy hitters. And Tyrese Maxey, again, he is what he is. He's a very good player. We had this debate about whether he's better than Damian Lillard, but this totality of their basketball team, they're not where the Milwaukee Bucks are. So I expect the Milwaukee Bucks to go out, don't play down to competition. It's opening night of the year. Go out and get a win. I don't want to say convincingly, but go out and beat down the Philadelphia 76ers and start this thing off on the right foot. What are you looking for as the Milwaukee Bucks take on the Philadelphia 76ers tonight?
Yeah, I'm looking for Dame Lillard to come out and show everybody that he's a better player than Tyrese Maxey game one. Like, that's their dog. So go head to head with their dog and show them. And then Giannis, there's no one in that city, even if Embiid and George are healthy, that can stop you. So do your normal thing. I hope to see a lot of AJ Johnson on the court, because that means we're up by 30 or 40. But one thing that we can't sleep on with the city of Philadelphia, it's a tough city. Their crowd's going to come in here in the first quarter. They're going to be rocking in the Wells Fargo Center. So that's where you stomp on them and shut them up. Because if you let these boys hang around, some insert role player name here, what is that? Andre Drummond, didn't he go there? Somebody went there. Somebody that I should have forgot 10 years ago went there, and he'll have the game of his life, and we'll be in a dogfight in the fourth quarter. I want an easy game. Let the starters rest these feet, and let's get ready for the next game. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, so to me, I'm looking for similar things. Obviously, throw the first punch and try to make sure you can get some young guys some opportunities late in the game. But mostly for me, I want to see what Doc Rivers is able to come up with in terms of rotations, who he's going to play together. We saw some of it in the preseason, but obviously it's the preseason, so shorter leashes on guys. And I want to see this team change its identity from last year in terms of the narratives that were built around the Milwaukee Bucks. Can this team defend at a high level? Can this team erase those defensive lapses that we had that kind of haunted us last year? Can we get up and down the floor with some of this new talent and new defenders? And so, yeah, I want to see good things from DeLon Wright. I want to see good things from Taurean Prince. I want to see how those additions can help this team kind of just be a better regular season version of themselves, but then also see how that can develop throughout the season.
Well, we're gonna get a chance to see this tonight. I can't wait. I know you guys can't either, and I can't wait after this basketball game to check out the Cream City crossover live post game show. Gonna be fun. Myself, Chris, Justin, all gonna be there along with JT. Be there just about every night of the regular season. It's gonna be a fun event. Please join us tonight after the final whistle, and hopefully we're celebrating a victory as the Milwaukee Bucks defeat the Philadelphia 76ers, and we're getting things started on the right track. Again, stay with us. It's been a production of Cream City Media Group. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Follow, subscribe, all that good stuff to the Cream City crossover. From the Guru, Trey Crosby III,
Justin,
Chris King.
Hey, don't take no wooden nickel. See you tonight, fellas.